computer. Wonderful. So I am very, very passionate about this. I'm very passionate about this. When women, Black women particularly, since I had been in the UK, lived here, I worked here, I just thought, I don't see what the problem is. And I understand the lived experiences of Black women, but our lived experience is not only of barriers, because that's all we hear. And as I do my PhD, that's all I hear. So I decided I want to look at this career success strategies that Black women use to get to senior executive positions, because there are career success strategies. It's not all about, let me check that I am recording, because I do not see that I am. Okay, I am. So it's not just about what all the bad stuff. And they say bad news travels fast. And that's all we tend to hear. And what's even more toxic about this is when you get into the workplace as a young Black woman or older Black woman, the Black women who have been there before you, whether in Nigeria or abroad, they are telling you all the bad things that have happened to them and how you should expect it to. You be careful with this. Nobody's saying these are the career success strategies I used to get to this position. And then the statistics, global statistics is Black women are underrepresented in senior executive positions. Why not? Underrepresented on boards. Why not? Because we don't actually pass on good news. We're always passing on bad news. Enough of that. So that's me on my soapbox, and I'm going to come back to my soapbox because this ain't going to stop. Okay, so that's our flyer, and so this is about me. I'm sure some of you, all of you, if you're watching the replay, you read it. I would you can pause it because I'm going to go on to the next slide. Pause it so that you can read it. But I usually don't. I usually feel that about me is not as important as what I want to share with you. Because if what I want to share with you does not come out of me, then and if it doesn't serve you, then it's useless. And it's amazing again how people make a big thing about who they are, what I've got. And what is worse, and again toxic, is people listen to that. Oh, she said she's this. Oh, he said he's that. Let's all run there. But what if he cannot deliver? What if she cannot deliver? Based on all her qualifications and awards and whatever it is. That's what people chase. We need to wake up and determine and take heed what we hear, who we hear, where we go, because just like you cannot digest food that you have not eaten, you cannot think on what you do not know. So once you hear it, you know it, you see it, you feel it, you touch it, you taste it. That's knowledge right there. And it could be the knowledge you do not need. So quit following people because of what they've done. Oh, they've got this award. They've seen the queen and the king, and they are the multi-award winning. Stop it. Check the person out yourself. Hear what's coming out of their heart. Are they passionate about it? Or are they just reeling you in to get clients? And then when you become their client, are they delivering? Are they delivering? When you become their client, are they doing what they have said they can do or they will do or that they have got the award for? If they have no, it doesn't matter. All those, you see, we should stop chasing after small, minute, empty, empty things. Welcome, Grace. Thank you for joining me. We need to stop it. We need to wake up and move forward. Otherwise, we'll be where we are because we don't take heed what we hear. We are listening to all the naysayers, whether they're in our country, because I'm Nigerian, so I'll talk about Nigeria, or abroad. So let's wake up and be distinct about it. A part of what I teach is meditation. I want to say this at this point. And the reason I'm saying it is there is a way to meditate like a worm or just a slug, or a sloth. You're just there. And when it comes, let me see. You have not applied the heat of your mind to that which you desire. And so many of us are stuck in one place because we have accepted what we have now, that's all it is. And then when we think about it, we're actually worrying. Or when we say we are meditating, we are not applying the heat of our mind. Hmm. Hmm. As I did that, because I notice I'm chill, I'm relaxed when I meditate. You are meant to be. I'm just like, yeah, this will happen. And I'm seeing it. But I'm not applying the heat. It's like a chicken sitting on her eggs. All she sees are chicks. She's got little babies in those eggs, yet they are still liquid. But she does not sit on it and stay. Why does she do that? Because there's a required temperature for those eggs to incubate into chicks. If you do not apply the required force to push something, that thing will stay there and you'll be complaining, hey, I've talked to them, hey, I've gone here, it didn't happen, I didn't have the money. Stop it. You are not a victim in this world. God did not create victims. Whatever your religious affiliation, God did not, whatever you call him, God did not create victims. So don't emerge or come or form into a victim because you are feeling one way and it's not fair. Stop it. Let's stop it. Seriously, we need to wake up. So moving on quickly. I saw this on Google this morning, and what I have highlighted is what I don't agree with. Many of these, so my query was barriers that Black women face in the workforce, whether you're in Nigeria or out of Nigeria, a Black woman, that's the woman I'm talking to. Many of these individuals, including Black women, faced overt racism, that's outside of Nigeria, and discrimination in employment. So you can be discriminated against in Nigeria by maybe patriarchy, the men saying we are the ones here, we are the only ones who can get into this position. You cannot, you are too young, you are too small, you are female, you are not Muslim, you are not Christian, you are not Catholic. Those things pertain in Nigeria. So let me start again. Many of these individuals, including Black women, faced overt racism and discrimination in employment, housing, and other areas of life. The fight, I don't like that expression either, for racial and gender equality has been long and challenging. The legacies of systemic racism and sexism continue to shape the experiences of Black women in the workforce. Look at when this was written. October 2023, a few months ago. What? November, December, January, February, March, April. 6 months ago. That's what workplace challenges faced by Black women, written by Hardin Evans, have written here 6 months ago. It's not 2019, it's not 2008. It's just here 6 months ago. How can you allow tough times to shape your experiences? Is that what your life is about? Is that how your life is about? Just, tough times shaping my experiences. Stop it. What do you want to shape your experiences? Is it the tough times or the great times? What's the title of this? Barrier-free promotion tips. Is that not what I called it? Because I have many. Yeah, promotion, barrier-free promotion for Black women. Barrier-free. No matter where you are on the face of the earth, barrier-free. Barriers are, first of all, created on the inside of us. Both of us can look at the same thing. Two people looking at the same thing and they interpret it differently. Barrier free. Let me just send something here. I beg your pardon. Barrier free. Thank you. If you think what you're looking at is a barrier to be, but before you attend this event, before you listen to the replay, oh, what does she have to say? That's what you're thinking. I don't have time for this. What's she going to say? We've heard this before, all these coaches. That's exactly what you're going to get. In the end, guess what? You won't even click. You won't type in the ID or the password. You won't come. And then what happens? Somebody says something. Oh my God, is that what she said? I didn't know. When I looked at it, I just thought, let's stop this. Seriously. We need to wake up, snap out of our reverie, and come here and say, okay, I am the one who determines how my life runs. My life, I'm not a victim. Circumstances and situations don't determine how I go. And that's one of the that's one way to think. That's a powerful way of thinking. Because once you begin to think that way, ideas will come to you that have never come to you before. So I don't like this systemic racism continue to shape the experiences. That's not what's shaping my experiences. In academia, they call it the lived experiences of Black women. And when I started my PhD, I was saying, no, I'm not interested. And my colleagues and my supervisors were saying, no, it happens. They face hard times. They face racism and sexism. And I said, okay, so everybody faces a tough time, but we all set sail to get somewhere. Do you now divert because of the trouble? Do you say, excuse me, you're not going where you are going because there's a stoplight? Oh, there are so many stoplights on that route. Take a different route. You are going somewhere. Black woman, you are going somewhere. We cannot be at the top when we keep accepting to be victims. Victims are controlled. Victims are controlled. Puppets, they are controlled. Zombies are controlled. You are none of the above. So let me share something with you here. What's my next slide? Before we go into that, let me share something with you here. I wrote a book in well, I've written a few, but I wrote a book in 2020. I have not yet, I don't think I've given it to anyone yet, but I want to read the first part of the first chapter. Right, here we go. And I hope you can see it. Yes, you can. All right. So this is the title, How to Find Opportunities Post-COVID and at any time for women. And I wrote here, this is not for wimps. This is for you. So I'm telling you, you are not a wimp. Okay. So, and I don't care how long you've been in the position. I don't care how old you are. Move. Do these things. So this is called How to Find Opportunities for Women Post-COVID-19 by simply positioning yourself for opportunity. Position is not a physical position. Anybody can do that. A dog can do it. A cat can do it. A goat can do it. A baby can do it. But depending on where you are going, yeah, a cat can do it. But depending on where you are going, you position yourself mentally. We don't take time. There's a reason why God separated the head from the rest of the body. The brain is the tool that you use for thinking. It is not where thinking happens. Thinking happens in your core, in your heart, your core. That's where it happens. All right. So let me read some of this to you. Opportunities exist for you. The first thing you need to know is that opportunities exist for you. That's what you need to know. What you know is what you will think on. If you say, where are the opportunities? Don't you know this Africa? Don't you know I'm black, I'm short, I'm in UK, I'm in US. You know, they don't promote us. So, in this Nigeria, if you don't know this person, if that's how you are thinking, so be it for you, not for me. Not for the people that choose to believe that there are opportunities in existence for them. I don't know. Every time I speak, I know speaking is my superpower. But digressing, I'm always amazed at the passion I put into. I can speak all day long, but I really, truly believe this. Nothing can stop you unless you want to be stopped. If God created you to be stopped, listen. That anything can just pop up. Oh, money, yeah, lack of this. Like, if God created you so that lack can become an issue in your life, we need to go and kill that God. He needs to leave the throne and let the rest of us occupy it. Because you won't do that to your worst enemy. You won't, because you don't have enemies. If you are smart, you won't have any. They can be your enemies, but you won't have any. So let me carry on reading. The first thing you need to know is that opportunities exist for you. Opportunities exist for you. Let me repeat that, and you're going to read it out loud. Opportunities exist for you specifically. Repeat this after me and put your name in the space. Please say it where you are. Opportunities exist for Kemi Opportunities exist for Kemi. Put your name in it. Whoever you are and whatever your name, woman, opportunities exist for you and for me. This is important for you to know. Opportunities exist for you now, not later. It's that later thing that's an issue. At least has been for me. You trust God, you believe him, you know you're going to step up, you step up, and you are thinking to yourself, maybe by next week. Okay, I've only been in this job 4 weeks. Maybe soon. Okay, I've only been in this job 2 months. You know, I can't. That kind of thinking will mess you up, keep you stuck and stagnant and small-minded. And even though you're working at your job, because you think that way, it will affect your work. It will affect your whole being. When you think about existence, you are saying something is alive and around. It is active. It is there and it can be found. It is there to work for you because it exists. It is not hidden. It is there for you. What remains is for you to become aware of where it is and what it is. Look for it so that you can take advantage of it. Because as you know, time is not waiting for you. Time is not sitting back saying, well, when Sally is ready, she will find me. I'll just wait here till Sally is ready. Nope. Opportunity does not wait around until you are ready. Opportunity shows up in the opportune time. For example, what you need to do is to go outside when opportunity shows up. But if you are unaware of it, you're unconscious or subconscious unconscious of it, if you think you can go after opportunity when you feel like it, or when you are ready for it, or when you stop being afraid, or when you say, well, okay, now I can go after it, you may not find opportunity waiting for you. Often you will not find opportunity waiting for you. You need to be fully cognizant of that. What I am saying to you is be ready now. Listen, there are organizations, you keep seeing adverts, adverts of jobs, executive director, director of sales, chief executive officer of people, chief people officer rather, chief finance, chief. They are creating all kinds of C-suite names now, and you don't sign up. You don't even fill out the form. Who am I? What am I? Because your thinking is your barrier. He's not out there. Whether you are in Nigeria or out of Nigeria, I keep saying, woman, your thinking is your barrier. We are intuitive. We are created with emotion. We know how to handle these things. But we shouldn't be using it against ourselves. And like I said from the beginning, what do we talk about most? Barriers. Barriers. Bad news travels fast. It does, it does, it does. But that's not where your mind should be. That's not what you should be listening to. What are we supposed to do about it? Well, it's around me. It's like saying, what am I supposed to do about it? There is poo around me. Stand there then. Abi, what should I do? What should I do for you? I'm not going to stand there. If I can move an inch away, I will move an inch away because it stinks and it looks gross. Why should you stay in a gross lifestyle that you allow around you or that you create yourself? We need to stop this. We need to stop mollycoddling women and say, is that how you feel? I know. I went through it. My mother went through it. My grandmother went through it. My great grandmother, if my great grandmother's sister, stop it. So, for example, what you need to do is to go outside when opportunity shows up. But if you are unaware of it, if you think you can go after opportunity when you feel like it, or when you are ready for it, or when you stop being afraid, or when you say, well, okay, now I can go after it, you may not find opportunity waiting for you. Often you will not find opportunity waiting for you. You need to be fully cognizant of that. What I am saying to you is be ready now. Now is the time. Now is the time. Do not wait for the announcement, COVID-19 or whatever the crisis, because that's when I wrote this book, is over. Now is the time. Open your eyes. In Nigeria, we say shine your eye. Your opportunity is out there waiting for you. And I know various ideas have occurred to you, like, maybe I could do this. No, maybe I should do it this way. No, maybe I should go that way. Girl, you have not acted. You are still busy here. Maybe. Well, I am saying to you, act now. Now is your time. And I think that was the bit I wanted to share with you. Okay, so I go into a bit of this. So if anybody wants this book, it's just £5. I don't know what that is in whatever your currency. Let me know, and I'll let you know where to get it. All right, so let's go back to our PowerPoint. Thank you for joining me, Temitope Johnson and Label. And I want to share my screen, and I want to go back to my PowerPoint. Is this it? I think it is. Okay. So we were here. We were here when I stopped and I said, I don't like this sentence. Highlighted on continue to shape the experiences of Black women in the workforce, the legacies of systemic racism and sexism. Before I started my PhD, when I started, you are not supposed to use Google. That's not academia. There's Google Scholar and then our libraries in our universities. I just typed into Google, barriers Black women face in the workspace. In 3 seconds, you know how Google will tell you how many seconds before it gave you all the information you asked for. In 3 seconds, I saw 400,000 odd articles on barriers Black women face. I raised it and I typed success career strategies Black women face. Hey, in 3 seconds, I saw 4,000. 400,000 barriers, 4,000 success. Nobody's writing about success. Everybody, oh, what I'm facing. All right, let me mute somebody. Everyone is just talking about what they are facing. It's a bad thing. Look, somebody, let me share this testimonial. A Black Ghanaian woman came to work with me, one-to-one, for 3 months. One-to-one with me is £5,000 over 3 months. And she said, everybody that started, she worked in finance. Everybody that started there with her, and they all start as consultants, they have all left Black. They have all left, male and female. She's the only one left there, and she knows it's the way she's thinking. So she reached out to me on LinkedIn and said she wants to work with me. So we went through the process, and okay, we started. I'd said to her before we started coaching, because you get a 90-minute session with me so we can arrange, plan, whatever it is. I said to her, I said, your first session, you're going to change. And don't ask me how I know that, or all I know is you cannot hear what I say to you and not change instantly, except something happens. I'm talking change, not here transformation, because transformation is higher than change. So we have our first session, and she called me the next day. She said, do you know what happened? As I walked into the building, my boss was coming towards me. He said, oh, you look different this morning. And she works in the UK, and she looked at herself like, what's different? She said everything was normal. She said later, she thought about it later that morning before afternoon. And she said to herself, oh, I am walking differently. She said the confidence with which I was walking into the office, that is what he saw. That alone is the attire she wore. Then she said to me, remember you said it to me. You said the first session, I will be different. I will change. It has actually happened. Because all I do is titillate your thoughts like, hello, this who you are. Don't you remember who you are? Don't you know who you are? You are a force going somewhere to happen. The force you are filled with, I don't have. The force the other woman is filled with, she doesn't have. So there is no need for competition. Just let's go forward. You do you, I do me, and we are going for gold. We are going to a destination that ain't nobody going to stop us, but it's a way of thinking. It's a way of thinking. But what she also did was she did what I told her. Let me tell you the end of our coaching session. I think it was, she had 2 more sessions, because it's only 6 sessions you have with me, but you have access to me in between. She phoned me and she said, oh, you have to tell me what to do. I said, what happened? What? She said, so her work is to go out of her own finance organization into a bank and do some work for them in that area. And she was posted there for 3 months. So she would come into the office, then go to the bank. She said the head of that department called her to one side because that was her last day. She was done. She had finished and succeeded in everything she was sent to do there. And the owner, the head of that department came around and said, pulled her to a corner. It was discreet, like we are walking on the corridor, pulled her to a corner and said, we like you and we don't want you to leave. Tell us what you want us to pay you. She said, she was like, I said, what did you say? He said, Ambassador, what should I say? I said, say 100,000 pounds per annum. Oh my God, I'm not. I said, say 100. What is the problem? Say, just say it. You're not going to pass her. Say 100,000 pounds per annum. She said, oh my. I said, didn't the woman say, say what you want? She said, oof, I don't know what she said in the end. I said, because what happens is we don't negotiate. We're afraid already is a thought. I will lose the job. If I look, they're already liking me. So no, don't let me be greedy. Greed, what greed? Is that what you believe you should have? Then go for it. Because you have barrier laden, what is it? Barrier free promotion. It's barrier free. The only barriers are the ones you create, not the ones that are there. And that's how she left. 3 months. So when I say in less than 8 months, you'll be promoted, I'm not joking. That was 12 weeks, less than 12 weeks. Less, because she hadn't finished, less than 12 weeks. It happens, it works, it happens. There was one other lady who there's one particular one I want to share with you. Oh, yes, she just told me. Now, this is a friend, she's like a daughter to me. And we were catching up a couple of days ago. And she said she went for 4 interviews, 4 stages. She went through, and then they said, yeah, we like you, we want you, And then she said, well, I appreciate that. However, I want 5,000 pounds more to my salary. I was screaming because I'd been saying it to her for years. I said, what are you afraid of? Say it. If they don't give you the job, then it's not supposed to be yours. Big deal. Move on. And she said, they increased it. She said, right now, I'm earning twice my salary. Twice. Some of us sit down there and just take it. Just by asking. The worst they can say is no. And then you move on. But if they have picked you, they know there's something about you they cannot afford to let go. So let's go on and let's talk. Please unmute or type in the chat. What barriers have you faced in your career? Whatever it is, do share. I would like to read from you or hear from you. Type in I don't care what it is, what it sounds like. Go ahead, type in the chat or tell us by unmuting. Hello, is anybody there? Tell us what barriers you have faced. Anyone? Anyone? Level lack of confidence in myself, told I am not strategic. Not strategic enough. Very funny. Lack of confidence in myself. Okay, told I'm not strategic enough. I didn't know I don't know if it's a barrier. It is, and that's an internal barrier to meet up with. And those are the worst barriers, the ones that you create on the inside of yourself. Sorry, lack of confidence in myself label, that's an internal barrier. Told I'm not strategic enough. It is a barrier. It's definitely a barrier because you want promotion and they say, oh, you're not strategic enough. What is strategy? It's a combination of tactics. This is what we are going to do. And so you follow those tactics and you get the results. What do they mean by you're not strategic enough? Did you ask them what they mean by that? Adela says, told I don't have a management degree. Absolute nonsense. Let us talk about degrees. Let's talk about qualifications. There was somebody that wanted to hire me. She said, oh, but she can't pay for it because right now she's going to Oxford to do her master's. She worked in a bank. She wanted to move up, and they were saying no, she doesn't have this. And she went to get her master's degree in Oxford. It cost her 40,000 pounds. She did it. Went back to work. She didn't stop work. She was doing both. They did not promote her. It is a lie. You do not need a degree. How many of you asked me for my degree? When you saw it, I didn't put my degree up there. When you saw what I said I want to do, I didn't put my degree up there. People don't ask me for my degree. They don't ask me for my website. I am an embodiment of what I teach. I believe it. And right now, I'm in the process of it happening for me, so that I can now say, oh, and I did this. And I have many examples I can share, testimonials that have happened to me. So what I teach is working in my life. But more than that, you embody it. You ask the question, what do I don't have a management degree? Pardon? I'm not doing a PhD for I didn't like school, so understand. I didn't like any school. After primary school, that was the end of school for me. But you're Nigerian, your Nigerian parents say it's primary school, secondary school, university. So I've got a BSc honors in microbiology. I got a third class. Third. Remain small, I would have entered pass. And that probably would have been a diploma. And that was in Nigeria. I got to the UK. A friend said, oh, no, you can do this. Oh, lack of confidence and low salary income. Low salary income is not a barrier that they create. That's what they are paying. You have accepted it. That's an internal barrier because of your lack of confidence. So I'll come to confidence. So, and then I now have a BA honors in youth and community work. I also work with young people. So I have a summer school and they come in and whatever online. And then now I'm doing a PhD. I don't have a master's, me, school. Well, I wasn't going to go. I heard God. He said, go and study. I said, go and study. I said, study what? I'm not interested. I said, study what anyway? He said, you're teaching how to think. Do you see how often you are researching? I said, oh. And so I thought on it. I thought, okay, I only want to do career success strategies of Black women. I'm done with these barriers. What you want to do is to look for a project in that office or your organization. Keep quiet, see what the problem is, because you are there. Go and think on it. How can I help this organization to turn this around? Just zip up about it. Research, do whatever you need to do. Ask strategic questions from strategic people. Strategy is just a word. Don't get big on it. And then work it out, write a dossier, plan it, and if you can make it happen yourself, make it happen yourself. If you, whether you know God or not, pray. That always helps, because we never pray bad, like God, kill me. God, you're praying right. They will see it and suddenly they wake up. Oh my God, she's got management experience. Look at her. They're not going to remember degree then. When I wanted to go on, be on boards, I started to research, how do I get on a board, because I have wisdom inside that I can share. I can support. People are impact investors in businesses, so they put their money into small, medium enterprises or whatever it is, and then they get money out of it. What I bring is the expertise of wisdom. That's what I bring, because I thought, oh, I can't help. I can't. No, but I can, because many people are losing. They start businesses and they lose it. They get funding and they fund seed fund A, seed B, and they just I mean, in Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, they've just been dying, all these businesses. Why? Because they don't think right. It's not that they don't have enough money. One of them in Ghana, he had used all the money, he had taken the money and put it in his own account, using it on himself. He was the CEO, he was the founder. It's the stinking thinking that's making people fail before we get to money and all that. So you don't need a management degree. You just need to show that you are this person. Once you have started doing that, your walk must be different. WALK. The way you walk must be different. Second, because now you have confidence and look at what I've done. And you zip up and you be looking. Then the C-suite is like, we've just found out that this is flowing. Who did it? I did. How? I did 1 + 1 is 2. Then you take on the next one. Then you now move forward and you say, I want to occupy this position. Don't wait to be promoted, like, oh, they're calling you. You have to feel like, get up, open your mouth. I want to occupy this position because I've done 1, 2, 3, and I believe I can head it, and I can lead you to the top. Even the way you talk, because every organization, they want to be successful. Even the way you talk, that, like, oh, some people are going to be the naysayers. They're going to be the silly ones. We will teach you how to have audacity, because I'm going to talk to you about what I'm selling to you after. We will teach you how to have audacity, the cheek, the chutzpah, to stand before whosoever it is and say, I can do this. And they say no, and you're not moved. Sis, is either you are in your organization and you move up, or you sidestep into another organization, fill all the forms, go for interview. One way or another, you are going to be promoted. Let's look at lack of. So that's what do they mean by you are not strategic enough? That's their idea. You look at it, research. What does that mean? What does a strategic manager or consultant, or whatever it is, what does a strategic person do? Don't accept that nonsense and sit back. Say, oh, they say I'm not. Pardon, what's your name? So when I was applying to get on boards, I thought, what do I know? I've never even been in a C-suite. So how can I say I want to go? So I researched how do you get on boards. And I said to look for people who wanted people to be on boards. I started looking for people who want to be on board, who are looking for board members. So I joined the people who are looking for board members. I joined them. And I said, so I started talking. I said, I would like to be on your board. Of course, I looked for the kind of organizations I wanted to be on. I'd like to be on your board. I'd like to be on your board. And I'm a board member as we speak. I just don't talk about it on a couple of organizations. I don't think she knows that she's. So I'm a board member of a couple until I worked with an organization a few months back, 6 months ago. And I was following up and he said, I would like you to join my board as an executive director. I said, whoa, what if I didn't show up? What if I didn't open my mouth? What if I didn't talk like that? I would never have been. I didn't do anything for it. He said, I need you on our board because what you have, we need it. This is a fintech company. He's a lawyer and into finance, and all the people that are on his boards are all these people, lawyers and all those people. And I'm coming on the board. So that you can do what you want to do, how you want to do it. But that's up to you. Oh gosh, I wonder if I can shut down her video because can I shut down her video? I think so. Oh, yes. All right. Okay, so I don't think she knew. So I hope I'm answering and I'm piercing through all these barriers. Now, a lack of confidence is not something that happened to you when you got into work. A lack of confidence is something you grew up with. I know I grew up with it too. And I still deal with some things where I'm looking at Kemi is a lack of confidence. So, for example, I need some monies and I want my money to be consistent. As a coach and a consultant, I need my money to be consistent. I am great at what I do, but I just start and then I stop. So feast and famine, feast and famine. I said, what's this? So he said I was meditating for the last 5, 14, 21 days, been meditating. And I talked about that earlier. And then I applied heat to my desire, the heat of my mind. I wasn't light about it. It's like, oh, I want to get promoted, but and you're thinking on to meditation is deep thinking, but okay, yeah, I would just one day ahead soon is coming. It is now. Oh, you can have it now if you want, but you are thinking, oh, one day soon. Who has done that? Whoever thinks, who has ever had a desire, but you are seeing it ahead, not now? Please type in yes if it's you. Go on. I'll tell you what to do. You've ever had a desire, but as you think about it, you are seeing like it's not now. You are seeing it ahead in a few months' time, in a few weeks' time. Lebo, thank you. Yes. Anybody else? Or everybody else is better than me. Tell me, talk about thank you. Yes. Any other yeses? You are seeing it ahead. You pray. It's like your child asking you for food, and you are seeing it ahead, and you are saying, wait, you without saying anything, and the child, we eat in 5 days' time. That's not the God that you pray to. It's not, oh, wait. No, it's a God of now. It's now, now, now. Because you need it now. Abi, we're not going to live on this earth forever and ever. So whatever we need now. So we can use it now. So what's the problem? Why are we seeing it ahead in our thinking? It will come. No way, stop it. Apply the heat of your mind, the heat of your desire for that thing. It's quiet. You're not talking, you're not chatting, you're alone. You're just thinking on it with energy. You are thinking on it with determination. You are thinking on it with effort. You are seeing yourself in that place. And it's not once, it's consistent, because you have to apply discipline consistently. I was doing this yesterday and I just had an idea and I created it immediately. Kemi, what stops you from earning money every day? Nothing but you. Why? I had this idea. Sell a $1,000 product to 10 people every day. That's 10. That 10 people will pay me $1,000 every day. I do it tomorrow again, every day. It might be one person, it might be no person, but I'm doing it. My goodness, what was my strategy? Because you have to sit down and think. I said I would do 60-second videos. I said I would do 60-second videos. I'll put them on 3 different platforms, social media platforms. Then I'll do a shorter than 5-minute video. I'll put it on my YouTube channel. Then I'll do text 5 times. People, I was going to post every hour for every 10 minutes. I said, wait a minute, that's a lot. So I reduced it to, I think, 5 60-second videos to upload, no, 3 every hour. So every hour, upload 3 on TikTok, on Facebook, on IG. I said, this is Reels, Shorts. I said, so I reduced it to 2 60-second videos uploaded at the top of the hour and halfway through the hour, 8 o'clock and 8:30, 9 o'clock and 9:30. I sat down and I created 24 videos yesterday. Then I created 4 less than 5 minutes, between 3 and 5 minute videos on the same thing I'm selling, which is this, actually, the Audacity tribe movement that I'm going to tell you about. And then but I didn't do the text. I was fagged out. I was tired all day long. I was knackered. But nothing stops me from making money every day. Some people will see the videos, some people will be interested, some people will not. And in there, I'm also saying, this is how much it is, and this is how you can pay, and it's by application only. I'm not hiding anything. I'm not doing all ducking and diving. And do you know what I noticed? I became bolder and bolder and bolder and bolder and bolder. Your confidence will grow when you dive in. Your confidence will grow when you dive in. The murky, barrier-laden waters, you don't want to be in that. You want to be in the success career strategy ocean. That's you. It's carrying you. You hardly do anything. It's carrying you. So when you see people being successful or other women at the top, it's not because of their color. And if you're in Nigeria, it's not because they are men. It's because you ain't done nothing. And you've got to call a spade a spade. I wrote it this way. I have an accountability group. So I shared it. I put it on Facebook. I said, join me for just $27 for the next 10 days. Join me. Do this. And you'll be like, what? And somebody, a client of mine, I said, join me, do this. And she was, oh, I have to. I said, no excuses. Oh, I have to. I said, no excuses. She said, okay, in about 15 minutes, I'll come. I said, you have 10 minutes. Do you know she started doing it? She was shocked. She only did 1 video. She created 2 because she was at work. She was giving me excuses. I said, go to the toilet, move things around. It takes you. I said, how long does it take to post? She said, about 2 to 3 minutes. It doesn't take that long. So I showed her a software. I said, you can pre-schedule, work through the night and whatever it is, and just decide how long in the day. Is it 8 to 8 p.m., 9 to 9 p.m., 3 to 5 p.m., whatever you want to do, let's just do it. Ideas come to you when you sit in it and you are thinking about it. We have 10 minutes to go. So we've looked at confidence. Low salary income is not the people pay. You are the one who accepted the job. You are desperate. You did not step up to 1.5 million naira a month. You didn't step up to it. That's what you want to earn. And you have to look for jobs that will pay you that kind of money. And you have to open your mouth and say, I don't take less than. You're just a human being. Other people do it. How about you? Does anybody have any comeback? What I said about the degree, not strategic enough, lack of confidence, this again. Can you explain a bit more, ma'am? Abby, tell us a bit more what you mean by that.
Oh, the part of the fact that, you determine your pay really. So if you're in a low paying job, it's because that's what you negotiated for. You can, applying all the things that you talked about, the confidence, the putting in the work in yourself, and start actually looking for the high paying jobs. Who says they can't be for you? Who says they can't be for you? So you're the sort of third person saying that in my circle.
Oh.
Again, this week, that's why I said this again. And
Ah.
I actually acted on it. Someone gave me an offer. And I was like, hey, you know her, hey, why did it? I said, well, worst case scenario is no that they will say, Jare, and I applied for the job. So when you're now saying it, I'm like, oh, this again, so that's why I said that.
Oh, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. Oh, thank you. This thing works. I just told you a few days ago, somebody said the same thing to me. This is what we're offering. She said, I would like, he said, I really appreciate the offer, but I'd like an extra 5,000 pounds, not naira, pounds. They increased it. And I have another friend who was flown. She applied for a job in Netherlands and she was flown. It was that high a job. Everything was paid for, accommodation was paid for. She was flown from UK to the Netherlands. She went in for the interview. She was taken by limo. Everything was top notch. And then they've called her for interview because she's gone through some stuff. Now they want to see her face to face, some interview stages. Final question: what would you like to earn? She told them. They took her back to the checked out, took her back to the airport, and she left, waiting to hear from them. Next day, she heard from them. What did they say? Sorry, we cannot give you the job. She asked why. They said because your salary expectation was too low. If your salary expectation is too low, they determine that the way this one thinks is funky. So when she gets into the job, she might not be able to do a good job. That's the only reason why. If she had given a highfalutin amount, she would have, pardon? They would have looked at her and said, who do you think you are? And you say, this is who I am. If you don't hire me, it's your loss, not mine. What I'm coming with, you can't find it anywhere else. And you need to be able to say that. You're not boasting. It's true. You are loaded with talent. It's true. You're not a dummy. No matter what anybody thinks. You're not a fool. You don't know everything, but that which you know, you so know it. And you will deliver. And you are not apologizing for it. Don't you go small. You're not saying things. You see that certain ways that things can change and you don't say it. If I say it, they will think, why are you thinking what you don't know what they will think? It's you thinking. And it stinks, so stop it. So stop it. What success strategies have you used in your career or life? Who can tell us? And I think that's okay. And then I have barrier. Well, I've been talking about barrier promotion strategies all through this. So what success strategies have you ever used in your career or life? I want to see how long it takes us to answer this because it took us a short while to respond to barriers. Now, are you going to type it into chat or you're going to say, what has helped you to move up? Because you've probably forgotten about it or you probably have never used it. And some of you in my life, what used to stop my success was a lack of money. I don't have the money for this. I don't have the money. I want to pay this coach. And I never hired. Abby raised her hand. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Okay. Wow, this is just quite awesome. I was thinking back really, and the success strategies that I've used so far um, in my life has been the ability to say, not to say no, not to take no. For instance, oh, we need somebody to do this. Can you do it? Oh, yes, of course. Right. And then I go up, for instance, one time in Abuja, I was hired as a project coordinator for handling their events by a photography company. However, there was now a need for an HR manager. Before this time, I studied industrial chemistry in school and I've been in like marketing and administration to a certain extent. I've really never done anything in HR. So when the owner of the firm reached out and said, "Oh, I know you're in for project coordination, but there is a requirement for an HR manager. Are you interested in that?" I said, why not? I said, why not? And that's how for 2 years I was able to manage a staff strength of over 100, across Nigeria. And I realized that it was because I said, why not, right? And went for it. Secondly, in my first job as an administrator, it was for a law firm. When I got there, I I was just voracious in reading. I was good. The internet was just it, right about that time. So I was just Googling law firm administrator, da 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 da. And the God, the universe, heaven brought my way information that helped me out. I actually got a textbook. I had access to a textbook that was on administrative science. Can you imagine administrative science? Right. So yeah, those are the strategies I've used in the past. The ability to do more than is required, to go the extra, has really been what has pushed me forward. And thinking about it now, um, so far in recent years, I've just done the required, right? Have not really done more than the required. So I guess I need to go back. I need to go back and dust off those strategies again.
Come on, see, she told you what her qualifications were, and then they knew she didn't have qualification for HR, and they called her. They call her. You might be arguing, yeah, but if you don't have the qualification and you take the position, they might not pay you as much. As that would be your fault, not their fault. Are you not doing the same job? Not their fault because of the qualification. Thank you so much, Abby. It's because of qualification they should pay you less. You're doing the same job. That's all this equity stuff. What a man is paying, what a female pilot does not. Why? Because the female pilot has accepted it. Am I flying a plane? Am I a pilot? Do I do the same routes? Yes. Pay me the same because it's no different. So you are saying my humanity is not as important as the humanity of a male? We are the ones who accept it. When this Ghanaian woman was going for the offer, the position of Uber's CEO, she asked for $600,000 per annum. I watched it in an interview, and the interviewer asked her, what possessed you to ask for that amount? Uber's never paid anybody that. She said, why and why not? That was her only answer. They paid her $600,000 per annum. Why? Because she asked for it. But let me add this. A career success strategy is, like Abby said, be voracious about doing the job at excellence level. Excellence does not have excellence level 1, excellence level 2. It's excellence. Don't say I'm a black woman, I should go for it. They should put me, let's just tick the box. We've got a black woman in this, and we've got females in this. No, when you step in, they should know you've come. It's not talk. You even learn to be slow to speak and quick to hear. You begin to exercise yourself in having insight. Insight is wisdom, the ability to see ahead of time, before the time, and have the answers, and be fearless about it. Not go and whine to your husband or whine to your friend. Hey, they said this, they said that. You don't have the time. Life is moving forward. World War III or World War whatever is happening or about to come. You need to make strategic moves, and they will know it's you. Fearlessly. Nobody has to come and tell you, oh, that's a great strategy. When you show up, just the thought. So, anybody else? So you notice it's just one. Okay, two people have. Okay, two other people. It said she thinks right. Lebo said about right thinking. And then I think it's Adeola. Being good at my job, go over and beyond. Yes, Temitope. And now, align with those moving up. Yeah, that's a great strategy, but they might not want you to move up. And if you know you're aligning with one of them and they're just being cute, they're being nice, and you're being cute and being nice back, move on. Go and look for a firebrand. Go and look for somebody that will not let you slow down. Go and look for somebody that, don't you know that you should apply for this? What are you still sitting down there doing? Not the ones that will say, do it this way. They are not serious. They are happy to be ahead of you. sit down with the tough ones that take you by the hand and say, let's go. Why did you apply for the next stage job? Why not two stages ahead? Why are you doing that? Thinking right and knowing my identity. Important, super important. And being good at my job, go over. You must not be good at your job. You must be excellent at your job. You go over and beyond, but then they're probably misusing you because they're probably not paying you. You're going over and above. Some of you are staying late at work and you're not getting the money for it because you're not saying anything. If I ask you, somebody to, it's your thinking again. You position yourself via thought, not by anything else. So what are the career success barrier-free promotion strategies? We've been talking about them. Speak up. Show up for excellence. Ask for the salary you want. Move with the people that will not let you rest. Go and solve problems in the organization. They will see things are moving coolly. Then go and talk about it. Don't just let it, oh, Adela has, solved this for us. Oh, wow, wonderful. And then you don't see anything. They're not going to call you. Every organization wants to save money. They don't want to give you extra. But when you ask for it and when you solve the problem and you now start to apply, and then they say they're going, I had a client like that. She was Romanian, worked in the Romanian bank in the UK, had been there for 6 years, had applied to be this head of risk, I believe it was. And they said no. Then she came, she was in a group where I mentor. So they gave her to me to be mentored. And I said, well, I just do promotion. I don't see why anybody is not getting promoted to the highest level. So I said, oh yeah, let's apply. I said, let me see your CV because I work on CVs too. We make it just right. And then she said, somebody reached out to her on LinkedIn 2 weeks after we started working. I said, did you put something out? She said, no, but I can feel that something about my essence has changed. I'm telling you, this thing works. Something about my essence that they can feel it on LinkedIn. She said I didn't. So I said, well, let's go. She applied for it. And it was a recruiter applied for it. She handed it in. And I said, what are they paying? She was earning like 42K per annum. So I said, well, we are doubling that, or we are doing 100. And then when they will bid it down. And she said, oh, that's a lot. But they're offering 79. I said, you should have doubled. I said, what? She went for the first interview, second interview. She was studying, reading, preparing for it, showing me books. By the second interview, they said to her, we already like you. We know who we want. Second interview, third interview is you we want. So she went to the recruiter before the last interview to say, I want more money. Do you know what the recruiter said? Looked at what she was earning currently and he said, nobody's going to pay you that. You're not even earning that yet. Nobody's going. I said, how rude. So I said, next time you should answer a recruiter and say, that's why I'm the one going for the 79K and you are the recruiter. What are you earning? But of course, she didn't say that. She got the job, walked in on Monday with her resignation letter into a company who had promoted a man British above her. She had to teach him what she had been applying to do. She had to teach him as the head of risk. She had to teach him. I mean, how bad does it get how they treat women? So she got this job and she handed in her resignation because they had paid for some training. This was January. She had to wait to leave in March. That company said, we will wait for you. We want you. Guess what? The same day, they called her into the office in her organization. They said, where are you going? You're not going anywhere. What was the position you wanted? How much do you want us to pay you? And at school, I said, Auntie, it's double or nothing, your salary. Double or nothing. They gave her a corner office, made her head or whatever it was, doubled her salary. I was just laughing. This was 2 weeks after she started working with me. So in 6 weeks, when I calculated it, she had got a new job. So when I say you get a job, a promotion in 8 months or less, I'm not playing. The longest I've had is 8 months. She was moving from director to partner in one of the big fours in the UK. You've got to do what in Nigeria. I worked with director of sales in one of these similar to kind of Netflix kind of thing. And she said it was just too much. She has never been at director level and that her boss had just blown her away and she needs to work with me. And I said, okay, this is how much. And we started 3 months. Day one, we're about to do day two. She sent me a message. Her boss had just blown her away. He sent an apology email. I didn't know you were working so well. I shouldn't have talked to you like that. Her team that were all scattered, and I said I would come in and I'd train. They were all over the place. Everybody started to melt. She only worked with me for 1 month, 4 weeks. She thought she was going to lose her job. She actually thought she was going to lose because she had only been there a month or so and she was floundering. We all just need to calm down. So there are barrier-free promotion strategies if you choose to see them. And nothing else. And finally, does anybody have any questions, by the way? I want to introduce you to all right, it's not open. I want to introduce you to the Audacity tribe movement. It's a movement. It's not just for anyone who wants to, behave funky. And this is what is in the Audacity tribe. I call it the Get Promoted online course. I honestly don't know why. Okay, this is it. Yeah. So let me share. Okay, there you go. The Get Promoted Audacity Tribe online course. This is what it entails. There are 4 parts, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and it's 28 days long. There's another bit where I describe the characteristic of the characteristic of a woman who is audacious. And that I simply use the 8 letters, the acronym for Audacity. So part 1, know who you are clearly. And these are all videos. Be promotion ready. Part 3, barriers, how to overcome them. And part 4, the table. All these, carry your chair to the table, build your table. They didn't call us to the table. What's all this now? We just like all these songs. Let's stop it. So you have access to 28 videos where I teach, just me, I teach. Then I have a faculty of women who will come in once a month alongside me and will coach you once a month. We have a Facebook community. I've not quite decided whether it's going to be Facebook or LinkedIn. And then where you have support and we'll come in and do some office hours within the Facebook group once a month. In the Facebook group. The cost of this is £3,000, not dollars, it's pounds. And you can pay once or twice. If you have a problem with that, let me know and we can look at other payments. Other payments, what's that word, Abby? But ways that you can pay. But it's either you pay twice, 1,500. I'm not adding anything to it, or £3,000 for the entire year. In 8 months, you will be promoted. That's the longest I've ever had. I've had a lot of 6 months, 6 weeks. But in 8 months, you will be promoted. There was a nurse who wanted to be the matron, the senior, again in the UK. And she was going for an offer. So she came to work with me. And I said, yeah, we'll do our 3 months. And I could see she was shaking. So they told her to write a statement, personal statement. It was like 3 pages long. I said, it's too long. It's too long. Let's reduce. No. I left her. Nurses who loved her came around her in that position. Doctors loved her. They came around her and they shot in her personal statement and she came to tell me. So I said, well, I said so, it's okay. So they shortened it and then they were coaching her, preparing her because they really want her to occupy the position. Of course, there are other people that have gone for that position. Guess what? She went, oh, your hand is up. Sorry, I'm just seeing it. She went for the position. She had the interview, sent me a message. I've just had the interview. They said they would be interviewing other people and then they come back to me. I said, okay. About 2 hours later, I've got the job. I said, wait, hold up. I said, how did you get the job? She said, I said the same thing because I got the call and I've got the job. Another thing happened. The person that was going to interview her fell ill and they knew each other. So she felt the fact that we know each other so well, she's just going to get the job. And she came crying, oh, that person is sick. It's somebody I don't know that's going to interview me. Guess what? She said to them, but I don't believe I've got the job. You're supposed to be interviewing others on different days. You told me. Oh, they said, no, we just shut it down. You're the only one we interviewed because we knew we wanted you. That was 6 weeks. 6 weeks from the time she started working with me. 6 weeks. You can see there's a lot of what I'm sharing with you. I have no hand in it. I know these are supernatural moves that you need to be aware of, because thinking is supernatural, it's spiritual. If you do not know how to think spiritual, you'll be there rowing the boat like everybody. Oh, I'm rowing the boat like everybody. Oh, I really need to do this. And you are hustling. That's not your place. That's not the God that we serve. He didn't make you to suffer. You don't give birth to children and say, well, yeah, I want you to get that thing at the top. They are 2 years old. You know they can't climb a ladder. They can't climb. Even if they did, they will never reach there. You don't do that to them. Why would God do that to you? Ma'am, Abby. So any questions at this point? I am done. I apologize. I've gone 12 minutes over. Abby, go ahead, please. Your hand is up. We can't hear you. You've unmuted. We still can't hear you. Or is it me?
Okay.
No. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Because we can't hear Abby. Abby, maybe you need to go in and come back. Go out and come back in. Anyone with any questions? I'll be sharing let me share the application form to join the Audacity tribe, because we need to talk before and it's by application only. There is no other way I would be able to get anybody on. Oops. So this is the link. Fill out the application. All right. Does anybody have any questions? I know Abby has left. Maybe she's trying to get back in. Please copy the application. Grace, I know you filled it and we've had a conversation. Anybody else? And please, don't be thinking money. It's 12 months. It can be divided up into 12 months, but don't be thinking money. That's not going to help you. And I think what people forget is, in the course, you will get a promotion and you'll be earning so much more. So think well. Any questions? Does anyone have any comments? Thank you so much for joining me. No question from Lebo? Any questions? Thank you, Lebo. Oh, I'm not too sure what's happened with Abby. Any questions, anyone? All right, then we can end it. I hope this has served you. I hope it has inspired you. I am Kemi Oyeshola. If you saw this on LinkedIn or wherever you saw it, you know you can reach out to me if you want to speak a bit more. Maybe you just need somebody to nudge you, even if you can't join the program. And you think of amazing things that you can do. Thank you so much for joining me. Stay strong. God bless you. Bye-bye. If you want the recording, let me know.